Hi and welcome back. In the previous lessons, we have introduced some concepts related to the definition of companies based on the product, service or product service system, and we have added some concepts related to content strategy. During this lesson, we will address the issue of product identity, the expansion of a company's product portfolio and the different approaches that can be implemented in this direction. As we have previously seen, depending on the different market segment and customer, various product types can be defined from the point of view of both price and style. These two elements, price and style, are factors that contribute to defining a brand identity through the identity of the product. The product, or rather the service product system, is one of the fundamental elements of the creation of proper brand awareness. It becomes fundamental for a company to choose its product range. A company, therefore, should clearly define the typology of products, considering the positioning within a market, the style, the variety. In short, the product portfolio, which can be defined as the assortment and combination of products offered for sale by a specific company. By product portfolio, therefore, we can define the set of goods or services consistent with the corporate identity and able to meet the needs of the customer. Especially today, it must be considered that a product not only serves to satisfy the primary needs of the customer, but also assumes other values that go beyond the physicality of the product itself or the purpose of the service provided. The product thus assumes a central role in the existence and development of the company. It also defines one of the variables of the system of elements described as marketing mix. That is the strategy implemented by the company in setting the correct positioning of a product or range of products through choices relating to price, distribution, and promotion. A brand that doesn't base its recognition on the identity of its product portfolio is not competitive in the market, even if it implements a well-designed system of communication strategies. It will be, in this sense, like a beautiful box, but empty. In this perspective, the product portfolio must simultaneously satisfy a series of practical and symbolic needs, more or less clearly defined and explicit. For this reason, when we talk about brand identity linked to the identity of the product, it is fundamental to provide a coherent definition of the offer from both a quantitative and qualitative point of view. From a quantitative point of view, it is fundamental to clearly define the type and quantity of product offered on the market by identifying a variety of goods consistent with and among the brand. In other words, a brand should offer some products that can complement each other. It should provide, for example, the possibility to complete an entire look from coat to trousers. Besides, it should present a range of differentiated prices on the market to complete the offer also from a pricing point of view. From a qualitative point of view, it is crucial to define a precise stylistic direction, use of colors, materials, prints and shapes and themes, able to express the identity of the brand, declined on different types of products, from clothing to accessories, various occasion of use, from formal day to evening, different market, from women's wear to menswear to children's wear. For a brand, therefore, it becomes fundamental to create a specific relationship with one particular market, also to a specific offer of products and services, by declining specific attributes that are the core of the brand equity. It is essential to point out, however, that the production capacity of a company is not always able to cover all the product requests by the market. Hence, it becomes necessary to expand the offer and build an extension of the brand by activating two different strategies: the production of product under license, licensing, the creation of collection in collaboration with other brands, co-branding. A license is a commercial activity where the licensor or grantor grants a licensee the right to use a brand name in exchange of payment of royalties. We indicate licensor, the company owner of the brand; licensee, a company that owns the production, distribution capacity and know-how of some products outside the traditional licensor market and that pays royalties to use the licensor brand on its product or services. Within the fashion system, traditional products such as cosmetics, fragrances, eyewear, and watches almost always belong to a licensing relationship. Royalties, the percentage of profits, production, or turnover of the licensee activities. In the case of licenses, the product offered on the market will respond in terms of communication, visual, and formal language to the rules defined by the style and visual identity of the licensor. Co-branding is defined as an activity of collaboration both from communicative, distribution, and stylistic point of view between two or more brands that come together to create a single product or a unique collection, a synthesis of the different identities of the different brands. This type of strategy usually leverages the brand equity of the different brands involved to expand the perceived value of the two brands in different market or market segments. In co-branding, the presence of the brands is communicated equally, creating a synergy that highlights the identities of the two brands at the same time. We can identify two strategies. On one side, collaboration of luxury brands with mass-market brands. An example is represented by H&M's collaboration with different brands such as Marni, Versace, and Margiela. On the other side, partnership between brands that move within the same market but with different core businesses. An example could be the Moncler Genius Project, the collaboration between Moncler and various brands such as Valentino and Palm Angels. To summarize, during this lesson we have defined the concept of product portfolio and the concept of brand extension to product licensing and co-branding activities.